Alright, just a super quick video today to touch on a couple of things I feel the need to talk about because I'm off out. And I'm sorry about the missing video yesterday. I'll catch up and add an extra video for over the weekend or something. But just quickly, I want to talk about... Okay, so Sargon went to MythCon, people trying to deplatform him. Sargon talked to Amos Yee, and a different bunch of people are saying that he shouldn't have talked to Amos Yee, to the people that said he shouldn't have been talked to at MythCon. And then Mouthy Buddha is doing a series on the beliefs of the alt-right, where he's just kind of presenting them rather than necessarily tackling them or whatever, which he's taking a lot of flack for. Now, the Atheism Plus divide was one between skeptical atheists and political atheists, and they were on what, for sake of ease, even though it's not accurate, we will call the left. But now we seem to have a separate set of people applying the same kind of moralizing and constrictions on what you can examine and think about and talk about and who you can talk to on what, for sake of ease, we will call the right, even though that's not accurate. To me, being a skeptic is being willing and able to examine and re-examine any beliefs, to try and understand things, to poke and prod at them and figure them out and see whether they make sense or not. That's what skepticism is to me, and that's a neutral skepticism that cuts across political and social lines. So, should we examine why fucking children is wrong? Yeah, we probably should. And I think what Sargon was trying to do in that conversation was to wheedle out of Amos Yee exactly what it was that he genuinely thinks and believes, rather than the straw men, or perhaps slightly more accurately, twig men that have been put up about what he thinks. What Mouthy Buddha is doing, I find useful because I want to see and understand what the alt-right thinks, so that I can better deconstruct it and see the flaws in it and attack it in its strongest form from a point of understanding, not just moral outrage, which doesn't get us anywhere. So that's where I'm at with all this, and I'm disappointed to see people on the opposite side to what it has been kicking up a stink about all these things. I want to understand them. I want to comprehend their points of view in their strongest form and then attack them. And this touches on something I've been wanting to do a video on for a while. I guess I've made a few comments along the same lines, but when you create an echo chamber, you're not only creating an echo chamber for yourself, you're cutting off other people from your point of view. And then when they do clash, there's just this kind of mutual incomprehension and moral panic and so forth that goes on that is profoundly unuseful. If the left want to understand why parts of the skeptic community have begun to skew right, I think the reason is this: they're no longer arguing, they're trying to deplatform, they're trying to shut up, and all they have to offer is moral panic and outrage, while the right and the far right are more than happy to talk and discuss and to try and convince people. So when people are constantly exposed to a singular narrative, the only one that wants to talk, the only one that's willing to talk, little wonder that then that their attitudes or whatever the ideas to which they're exposed, the kind of things that they think about, then tend to skew to the right. So if you want this to stop, you need to talk more, not less. You need to deplatform less. You need to get out there and you need to put your best arguments forward, and you need to tackle the opposition's arguments in their best form. And if you're a skeptic, you need to come down on either side, not according to political or moral affiliation, but according to where the facts, where logic, reason and evidence take you. So that's what I think we need to do. I mean, I see the pushback too. Whenever I talk positively about socialism, or I try to correct people's misdefinitions of socialism, I get a lot of pushback. from the skeptic community. As in so many things, I seem to find myself in the middle. Not a centrist, but in the middle of two warring sides of extremes. You know, if I take it upon myself to tackle some of the things that I disagree with, that Sargon has said, and so forth, then I know I'm going to lose some audience. I know I'm going to be attacked by a lot of people, just as I have been for tackling and attacking what I see as the worst problem, which is the pseudo-left hyper-PC stuff. That's my bias coming in, because I work in creative enterprises. You know, I write, I design, you know, and these are areas that have come under heavy PC attacks. So that's where my bias is. That's where I experience all of this. But someone needs to do some kind of competent argumentation from the left, the genuine left, not the left. Maybe I should take that on. You know, it's all about integrity, really. I've been prioritizing things on triage that I talk about, really, the things that affect me, the things that I see are dangerous and troublesome. So, something to think about. Let me know what you think. Do you want me to see me tackle things like Sargon's extreme meritocratic argument, or just get married and work hard? Because I don't think that's accurate. Do you want to see me talk about the good side of the left? Defining and talking about socialism and its history and left-wing philosophy and where it comes from and why it's been a net good for the world. These are the kind of things you want me to talk about. If Mouthy Buddha is just doing a presentation on the Jewish question, do you want me to push back against not the ideas that he's professing, but the ideas that he's explaining and showcasing? Are these the kind of things you want me to do? Or do you want me to do more games material, more talking about storytelling? Do you want me to read more stories? I don't know. At the moment, I just kind of drift around and do whatever I feel like or I have space for, and it seems to be okay, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what my audience wants, and my audience has been growing recently. I've just surpassed 1,200 subs, and it's a very steep upward trend in subscribers for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe talking about Comicsgate. Do you want me to talk more about comics, British comics? I don't know. Meh. Zang. Old Fat Punks is part caper, part comedy, part nostalgia, and part commentary. It follows three aging punks as they build themselves up for one big, nihilistic last hurrah. You can buy Old Fat Punks at Amazon, Drive-Thru Fiction, or Lulu.com. Follow the links below or search on those sites.
They love their parasite gods, yet they persist by